Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ocean Outlast Expert. Hope everyone is doing great. I know that I am. We're jumping right back on into our save file here. I have not streamed this game since our last recording. I know things get a little bit interesting with, when I'm recording versus if I'm playing this on stream and so on and so forth. But I will try to obviously let you guys know at the start of the episode if we have streamed before I have recorded the episode. So if we did stream, because you probably won't be seeing this till early next week, I'm recording this on a Friday, but if we did stream, then obviously I'm not recapping it right now. But anywho, besides the point. So in our last episode, we primarily dealt with our automation system. I ran you guys through how it is set up and everything like that. Please hold for a second. I know I'm evil, but he was already pretty low on health and I can spawn new ones. And I was just getting a little bit annoyed of hearing him all the time in here. But anywho, so yeah, automation system. I was running you guys through how we have it set up. I haven't been running it that much considering we are pretty good on our resources for the time being. I might bump it back into gear here in a little bit to get it going once again. But I did want to maybe tinker around with our power today a little bit. But there's something else that was brought to my attention, which I thought was way more interesting than getting into what I originally had planned. So a user over on the YouTubes left us a nice comment. Let me see if I can pull up his name here. Dawson Dude Gaming. Maybe? Was that him? He left us some good comments, so I appreciate the comments, my guy. No, it was not him who left this one that I was thinking of. I do appreciate your comments, though. It was Fernando Perez. I hope I pronounced your name right there. But he left a suggestion for getting our cobblestone compressed properly, which I don't know why I never thought of before, at least in the extent that he has suggested. I can talk. So, as you guys know, we have this setup going right now with our auto compressor that's getting us our sextuple compressed cobblestone. Oh, there's that person again. Stupid thing. Yeah, and as you guys can see, can't take it out. Can't take it out. So, we're just being haunted now. Maybe it's just a spooky Halloween update. Now I hear a zombie too. There's a zombie here somewhere. Ah! Alright, we're fine. We're fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. Anywho, so as I was saying, so we have this automation set up where we're taking our basic drawer with a ton of cobblestone in it that's being generated by our cobblestone generators and throwing it into a compressor which uses power, and then in a loop form, it's just continuously compressing it. Now, he recommended, why don't we use compacting drawers? Now, this isn't anything new to us. We originally started down this path actually using a compacting drawer, but I did not think of it in this sense. So, what if we were to make a chain of compacting drawers that would pretty much instantaneously get us to our sextuple compressed cobblestone that we need? So, I haven't tried it yet, so we're trying it live right now to see how this will work. So we're going to need a couple of pistons here. I think he said he utilized 3. I think for us, we might need more than that. So I'll get, because let's think of it. If we take cobblestone and put it in, it's going to get us compressed cobble, correct? We'll take compressed cobble, it'll give us double compressed, so that's 2. And then triple, that one, sextuple. So we'll need 6 probably, right? I'm going to assume we're going to need 6 of them. So let's get some basic drawers going here. Well, this will get us 2 of them. Okay, and obviously now we need some chests. Let's grab some chests, compacting drawers. And then we need, are we out of stone too? We are out of stone, holy smokes. All right. Now you guys might already be clickety-clacking down in the comment section saying, hey, this isn't gonna work. but obviously I don't know that. So we need 4 probably. And then we need some cobblestone. Decent amount of cobblestone here. And what we'll do is we'll just run upstairs here. Go over to our resourceful furnace and throw these bad boys in here. We'll hit it with our time in a bottle there. Get it bumped up a little bit. And what we should be able to do is go back to compacting drawers. Right? And I think we just need this one. I don't think... What's the difference between that one and this one? Compacting drawer 1 by 2. I don't know. Now I'm kind of curious as to what this one is. How is this different? So we have 2 in there, right? But then this one is 3 compressions, I think, right? Like if I were to take, let me just double check this. All right, so we threw that in there. That in there will give us double compressed. So if we use normal compacting drawers, it'll give us all the way to double compressed. So that's what we're gonna wanna do. All right, so we definitely want the normal compacting drawers. All right, cool beans. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take this down for the time being. This has served its purpose well. But, yeah, and this is gonna go through this process. You know what, why don't we'll just let it go to the extent that it can go. Oh, and you know what, it's not going to, yeah, it's not gonna pull it back over to this side at all. Why is it still, oh, it's still getting it from this side. I'm like, why is it still running? And that's why, because of those. How is it still, oh, from above then. I know, I see what's going on here. Okay, now it shouldn't be running. And then we can just grab all of these. Make sure there's none that we could put back through. Nope, doesn't look like it. And we don't need the auto compressor anymore. And then we have our cobblestone generators, which we'll just take off for the time being. So first, we'll throw down this bad boy, right? And then what we'll do is we should have our compacting drawer. We got 2 of them actually. One is, it looks like because I put stuff in it, it is kind of freaking out right now. So let's see, how do we want to do this? Because we need to have some item conduits probably running between them. So if this will give us to triple, then this one would actually give us probably to the next tier, right? This one would be perfectly fine. So let's try this. Okay, we'll put this here. I know, we're doing a lot of stuff without cutting away here, because we want to try it out. We want to see what our possibilities are with actually getting this. So we'll run this all between here, and we'll see if this works. So we're going to extract, and we want to insert on here, and then we do want to insert on here. Let's put that on brown. We'll actually extract here on brown, always active, and let's see if that works. I don't know if it'll work. We might have to put an item filter to tell it what it should take out, and we might actually just want to do that right off the bat. We might not even want to wait on that. Let's just do it right away to be safe. So we'll get a basic item filter. We do need a hooper. Didn't have any chilling out there, unfortunately. We'll grab this. Cool. And we're going to throw it into this one. Yeah, because we only want it to extract certain things. So we'll put it as never active for the time being, right? So then now we'll change this to always active, and it should take those and put them in there. Now we do need our key, our quantifying key, so we know what the heck is going on here. And that should work for both of them. We do have our speed upgrades, so can we put our speed upgrades over here? Extract speed upgrades, we'll put it at 2, so that should work a little bit quicker. So then we are going to have, yeah, this is going to be going into original, and then compressed, and then double compressed. So then our filter here, we're going to want to be double compressed only. So if we turn this to always active, it should be taking over and we get up to quadruple compressed. So let's just make sure we have everything placed in here. Yep, and then what we're going to need actually is another drawer that is going to have to extract to get our sextuple compressed, which I guess I'll just put above it. So let's get another compacting drawer. And we want the good one here, compacting drawer. So I guess we didn't need as many as I was expecting. We'll throw it up here, right? And then this one is going to be insert only on blue. Oh, I think that was our cactus. I was like, what was that noise? This is going to be extract on blue, never active right now. And then we're going to need another item filter in order to do this. So we'll grab a hopper, just like so. Grab our item filter, just like so. And we are going to throw it probably just in the extract here, right? And then this one is got a max of the quadruple, right? So we want the quadruple, yep, to be filtered up here. So if we go here and we put our quadruple in there, put that back down there, and we set this to always be active and put our key on there, we can get up to our sextuple up there relatively easily as this progresses and just shifts things through this kind of progression here. So it shouldn't take too much time. Really, the best thing for us to do would probably be get more speed extract upgrades and have this go a little bit quicker. Because as you can see, we got 2 up there, but obviously then it kind of breaks it down into what you could have underneath it. So you could have 2 of the sextuple ones, or you could have a certain amount of the quintuple or the quadruple, as you can see. But the speed upgrades would make things go a lot quicker, because obviously this is coming in here, this is kind of doing it, going around doing this, and then pumping them over into here. So basically what you're going to want to look at is this top one. Once each of these top ones gets filled, it extracts to the next one, pulls it up there, and then it'll eventually get that. So basically, this is acting as our compressor, our automated compressor, but just in a sense of not having to utilize power. This is a powerless compacting setup right here. Let's get a nice little shot of this. I think that should be fine. Which I think is a great recommendation to do, especially if you don't want to be hogging power, because obviously this would be something that continuously runs. Now, I'm going to put some speed upgrades on it, and we'll see how much faster we can actually get this to work. So we will be right back. All right, guys, so I have clearly modified our setup just a wee bit more here. I'm actually going to try to get it in frame here. Maybe. That's fine. So this, again, is a great way to do this setup without consuming power. So if you are wanting to save on power, great way to do it. Also saves on some resources, because I know the compressor can be, or the compactor, I should say, can be a lot of resources to get on its own. So this is a great way to do it. But as you can see, we have our basic drawer up here now. It's extracting going into here. And then I took our 2 cobblestone tier 5 generators and have them going in and filtering in as well. Now, as you can see, if you're watching closely, this first one will get up to about 5-ish double compressed cobblestone before it pulls it over into the next one. I did put speed upgrades on the lower down ones, because if you think about it, you're going to need more resources at the lower level. You need more cobblestone and well, just more cobblestone, the base cobblestone, to be pumped into the first compressor compared to the amount that then is being output to the second compacting drawer, I should say. Compacting drawer, not compressor. So I put speed upgrades on all of these extracts here. I actually have 15 coming from this basic drawer just to pull everything out of it. I just don't want to have to use it anymore. I have 3 on there and 4 on here. It does show you the effective speed then, so it's 20 items per operation for that one, 16 there, and then this one I think is 64 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So basically, it just ramps up the amount that is getting pumped out, how quickly it's getting pumped out, because we want to push in as much cobblestone as we can, because then it gets compressed 2 tiers, which is pretty quick, and then it gets up to 5, and then that speed doesn't matter, because you're going to have way less of the double compressed than you are of the lower one. So it doesn't matter how long it takes to move those over, because by the time it normally filters on its regular speed, it's not like there's a lot there that needs to get bumped over. So that's why I didn't put any speed upgrades on these ones, just didn't need it. Now, as you can see, we're still sitting at only 2 sextuple compressed cobblestones up there, but we are slowly moving there. So the way that you can do this is depending on how many you want here. So for instance, we want 6. We want 6 of these sextuple compressed to get going on one of our machines. So based upon that, we're going to have 9 of the quintuple compressed cobblestone, 9 times the amount that we need. So if we need 6, we have to have 9 times that final amount. So ultimately, we will want 54 quintuple compressed cobblestone in there. And then from there, if we want 54 of those, you multiply it by 9 to get the lower tier. So ultimately, we're going to want 468 quadruple compressed cobblestone in there just to have 6 of the sextuples. So it's going to take some time. And holy smokes, that actually went really quick. We're kind of dwindling down on the amount in there. And we're actually going to get a bunch of upgrades back from that, which is perfect. I'll take those and stick them away. And we'll get rid of this. And you know what? Did we get our speed upgrades back from that? Or did I just make a big no-no? I might have just made a big no-no. Nope, there they are. Okay, they're still attached to it. So there we go. And we'll get all these back. So then what we can do is just kind of distribute them. So there's 11 there, and there will be 11 there. So this will be outputting 48 items per. It's still going relatively quickly, but it's definitely not as quick as what it was before, unfortunately. So it is what it is. We could get more cobblestone generators in here to be pushing it out a lot quicker. And what we can always do as well is we can bump up the speed on that. And it's actually kind of interesting. When I do that, you might notice it. Things start shifting. So all of our, well, some of our drawers here, you can see the items shifting. If you look at these, well, they were shifting before. It's interesting when you use the time in a bottle on certain things because it makes them kind of ghost shift back and forth, which is just interesting to see. But yeah, this is going to take a long time. We're going to have what, 27, right? 9, 18, 27 of the quintuple to actually have another sextuple in there. So we need 5 more of those bad boys to get up to there. So guys, again, great way to do this without having to use power, to use less resources in general to make your machines. Highly would recommend it. So let me give a shout out one more time to the user who had left a comment. For Fernando Perez, I really appreciate it. It was a great suggestion, and we are going to do that for our setup from the time going forward. Now, next thing in line on today's episode, as we round out things, because we're already about halfway through, actually over halfway through, we are going to try a new way of distributing power, on the topic of, being efficient with power. I want to get down some Spectre energy injector, or one of them, I should say, and then a Spectre oil, or a couple of them. These bad boys transfer RF, and these ones inject it into the Spectre space, I guess you could say. So the injector, it's an energy put into this block. It goes into the Spectre energy buffer of whoever placed it. The buffer can hold up to, 1 million RF. So it has a good internal buffer. It's more than the wireless battery buffer, which is only like 3,000 or so, I believe. And then the energy inside of it can be transferred elsewhere using the Spectre coils, which is pretty awesome. Now, if I go in here, I do believe I already made one up. I did. Just to be prepared. We spent a lot of time doing other things earlier on, so I wanted to be prepared. This is a little bit pricey of a recipe, so you might want to start with your battery because the battery is actually not too expensive. It's pretty easy to get right off the bat. You just need some redstone, the resonating redstone, and then the stone burnt from extra utilities, so pretty straightforward for that. For this one though, obviously you need a beacon, which is pretty pricey. You do need another star for that. You need Spectre string and Spectre lens, which makes you need Spectre ingots, which makes you need ectoplasm, which we have plenty of because we have our tree and our hopping bonsai that is producing that for us. Well, it's producing the Spectre for us. And then you just need some obsidian, which is pretty straightforward. The Spectre string, pretty easy. Ectoplasm, I should say, is being produced from our tree and our hopping bonsai. And then you do need some diamonds for that. So again, it is kind of pricey. I'm not going to lie. It is a little bit more of a pricey recipe to have. But you know what? I think it's worthwhile. So with that being said, let's see here. I think I somehow want to get this set up in a little bit better format than what we currently have. So we have our wireless RF battery here on top, which is actually doing really good work for us. Well, it's doing work, but we don't have it hooked up to that yet, which that takes a lot of power. All our automation takes a lot of power to do. Whereas this doesn't really take too much power. So if we shift over the whole entire setup, it might be smart to do. I think if I put this on the back, it would be fine. So if we want to, I got to make sure it's on export. So actually, let me get that back real quick. Yeah, that only holds 3000 RF. So I'm going to guess this is the back. No, that is not the back. It's always kind of hard to tell. Yep, that's that side. So top, left, right. Maybe this is back. Nope. There we go. Output. So now we have that as being output. So we should be able to place that down. And it doesn't give us any kind of knowing if it's actually being transferred. Like we can't tell what the buffer is or anything like that as far as I know. But if we were to take our Spectre coils and we go place them, it should charge items up. Now we're just going to want something that doesn't have any power in it. We could knock off these because then that will stop powering all of these. And we could knock that one off as well. Now my thinking is we could actually utilize some of these basic universal cables in our setups here. This would make it a little bit easier. So we place this on top. Now let me see here. What makes sense? What can we nix out of here that isn't going to completely affect our setup? What we could do is just have the crusher run for a second to kind of utilize some of the power it's got in there. Or actually, we could utilize our powered furnace down here. So let's have that run a little bit. We'll bump up its prediction speed here. Should output all those. So as you can see, all of the power getting drained out of there completely. So what we can then do is take our basic universal cable, throw it on there, and then take our Spectre coil and we'll just throw it right there on the front, and that should be transferring power. So if we take a peek at this, we are slowly but surely building our power back up. Now you do have to take into consideration this is working against the actual furnace running. So once the furnace stops running, it's going to bump up. Now we could also get it to transfer at a higher rate if we really wanted to, but you have to take into consideration it only has a buffer of 1,000,000, which again, I mean, that is a lot, but at the same time, it's not that much. Now, we could get a different universal cable if we wanted to, or we could get a different Spectre coil to help our export of power. So we could get a redstone Spectre coil, which outputs 4,000 RF per tick, roughly. It's 4,096, but 4,000 is easier to say. Which obviously then is a lot more output. And then we could also get a upgraded universal cable, which is the advanced universal cable, which will output 5,000 RF per tick, roughly. So that one would be good because you'd have 4,000 coming in, 5,000 possible buffer to be distributed, and it would be working perfectly fine. Now, we can do the same for our whole entire setup here. Now, it does make it look kind of, you know, not like the most amazing realistically, because now our windows are a bit more blocked, but I think it's a great way to go about it. Now this one's going to be a little bit more interesting. We need more universal cables for it, and I don't have any crafted up. Easy enough to make though. So we'll just get some more. We'll go like that, go like that, go like that. And then unfortunately, this one kind of has to go on top, just like so. So that one should be providing power to those. Now these ones up here don't need power. It's just these machines down there. So they each have their own thing. Would you go away, spooky ghost? So realistically, we should be in a good spot. Now, if we come down here and look at our buffer, as you can see, we're not worried on power. I mean, this thing is backlogging power into each individual thing, which is awesome. We got a bunch of back power there, bunch there. We could get some more lapis, actually. We'll grab a good amount of it. We can easily get lapis. That's why I'm not too worried on it. We have all those running. Obviously, we still will have things that run off of our normal wireless RF battery from extra utilities, all this stuff. But I think the heavy lifting items, all of this stuff in here, really needs that additional bump. Now, we do have this over here, which is our automated setup, right? And we do have our auto compressor. Now, I'm thinking, based on what we started the episode with, why don't we just get a compacting drawer going, right? We'll do a 1x2, and we'll just nix the auto compressor out of there. I mean, we really don't need to have it there. So basically what we can do then is we'll have to get another item filter just to play it safe. You might not necessarily have to do this, but again, I like making sure that we are pretty much set in stone, you know? We don't want to be in a spot where things are running awry. So we'll turn this to never active for the time being. And we'll turn this bad boy on. It should be getting power, which will output these into there. And then we do want our quantifying key, which we have 3 of because I always make them. We'll stick that away. And then what we'll do is we will grab one of these, come up to our filter here, put it in there, do this, and can I fix that out? I want it to be in the first one because I have OCD. Don't really have OCD, but okay. And then we put this to always active, and then it should work. It should only pull out those bottom ones. Those top ones should be fine. And then once again, you're saving a good amount on power. The only thing that really is taking power here are these 2 items here. So our diamond hammer here in our auto hammer, and then our heavy sieve is obviously taking power as well, which does take a decent amount of power to consume. And then these bad boys will be running, which they run pretty consistently with power. They're pretty much all filled up. We can go and check out how our capacity is doing on our overall setup. And you know what? Realistically, we might want to get it so our heavy sieve gets more power. Yeah, this boy is pretty much staying consistent here. Yep, a million, a million. This one is depleting just a tad bit. But you know what? I am curious. I have everything as input, right? Yeah, everything else is input. The only outputs are the top and the back there. So these should be filtering in. I'm guessing that they aren't because it's just prioritizing the bottom first, which even that, it's keeping close. You can see that it is taking out a certain amount of RF per tick. This boy is staying pretty consistent here. I don't think that we can, yeah, it shows your max output of RF, which is 20,000 RF per tick, which is crazy. And then we have obviously our Spectre thing there. Now I am a little bit curious if we do hook up a Spectre coil to our sieve here, if it would help keep the power, because obviously this thing needs a lot of power to run. It consumes 120 FE per tick, which I don't know how that necessarily translates to RF. I wish I had a better way of translating it. This guy, he's easy. He's keeping up with the power, and that one only serves that one down there. So why don't we try that? So let's go to our Spectre coil. I don't think we have any other ones chilling out here. We should just about have enough. Grab some more string here. We'll grab another Spectre coil. Nix that off of there. The redstone one, we are going to need some more string, and we're also going to need some redstone blocks for that, 2 of them to be exact. But I am curious if we do utilize this, if it will just completely drain out all of the power. It would be curious to see. So we'll nix that one off. If I place it down here, it's still serving both tiles. If I place it over here, I'm trying to get it so it only serves the one tile. And it's kind of hard because obviously we have to put it a decent ways away, so it's not. No. If I put it underneath, it probably would actually, now I'm thinking about it. I put it down here. Yep, serves one tile. Perfect. Okay. So now that's serving the bottom one. Now, obviously, the top one that needs power are sieves. So let's go over here and let's throw it on here. Let's try it out. Obviously has no power. We throw this bad boy, I don't know, on the bottom there. And holy smokes, guys. Wow, that's pretty much staying at max power there. This one's getting plenty of power. How are these guys doing? They're all getting a good amount of power, I think. Yeah, good power. Good power. Now, the other thing with these ones, too, is they won't use it unless they have items in them to craft up. You know, to crush, to smelt, whatever it may be. See, it just got that, so it's not going to be running consistently. This guy is going to need power consistently to do that. And we could even upgrade this maybe to work a little bit quicker, because this is pretty much the bottleneck in our whole process right now, is our crusher here. We probably could put a pulverizer in here. Or I'm sorry, this is our auto hammer. We might be able to put something different in here to better get gravel from it. I'm kind of curious, like, what are our other options to get gravel? A material stonework factory, interesting. Combiner we could utilize. Enrichment chamber. Yeah, the crusher from mechanism would work. Obviously takes its own power as well. We could just do a normal pulverizer, but that takes a decent amount as well. I just want something that we could utilize. We could use a castic deposition, which takes lava and water with power to make it. Now I'm curious how much power per. Doesn't really tell us. We could utilize that. We can't do that. We could do a normal crusher from extra utilities, excuse me. Does give us a chance to get sand. And then there's a sag mill, which the sag mill honestly would be probably the quickest, but we do get a decent amount of extra items from it that we don't necessarily want. So really this is our, I think this is our, maybe it might actually be our, no, this isn't really doing it. It's more so maybe not having, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. We'll have to tinker with it more. Realistically, that's what it kind of boils down to. Let's go back one last time. We'll check our power, and then we're going to wrap up the episode, because we've already kind of gone over our time here. So let's see. How are we doing on power? That's full. That's halfway full. This boy is pretty much full. Yeah, I mean, it's not even that bad. We are losing power there. Obviously, it's taking out a lot of power in order to run that. I think over time, yeah, you can see it's kind of jumping back and forth between having enough to not having enough. But basically right now it's taking out more power than it is storing in here. I wish it would show it in here. That would be really, really nice to be able to see what is going on in here, but it doesn't really show us. It really just shows us down here. Which I am surprised that, you know, this isn't, it's not taking out from over here. It's mainly taking out from directly underneath it. I'm guessing as we kind of get more going, it would. And now I would like to do eventually, which it'll be in another episode. We do need to mix things up here, is get this put into a better spot. Like maybe we'll take it across the way here, like up here or something. And we'll get it set up a little bit better. And we'll maybe put more generators down here, make more power, maybe get another ultimate energy cube up and going so we have enough power for everything. But yeah, that's going to be in a different episode though. So guys, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like down below. Helps out the channel a lot. If you are new here, you do want to follow along, hit that subscribe button and bell notification. I'll let you know every single time a new episode is posted here on the channel. I do stream over on Twitch. I have that link down in the description. Currently, our schedule is Mondays and Fridays in the afternoon. I do have our Discord link down below as well if you would like to join in the community. If you have any questions, concerns, or if you want to share anything from your own walkthrough, or your own playthrough, I should say, feel free to share it over on our Discord. I would love to see it. But guys, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one. Take it easy.